So, Coach, I want to welcome to your Own Your Moment Network, man. I appreciate you coming on, speaking with me, Coach Walz.
Thank you.
Excited to have you, man. You have a great profile coming in this upcoming season. You got Haley Van Leaf coming, Olivia, Marissa, Alana. Tough class coming in, Coach.
Yeah, we got a really good class coming in, and then we're really excited about our returners. It's going to be a group that I think we have a ton of potential, and I've really been pleased with my returners right now. They've been reaching out and building that relationship with our incoming players,
right?
Which especially in a time like this where there's so much uncertainty, there's a lot of things that you can get accomplished now.
Right.
So when we do get back together here on campus, whenever that might be, we're a little further ahead maybe than some programs.
Exactly. I totally agree, Coach. Coach, you had a great deal of coaching a lot of great players, man. What is your recipe with that, being able to relate to your top players or kids that you can feel to take on a bigger leadership role than others?
Well, I think from day one, we're pretty honest in the recruiting process with all of them. I believe in the relationship not only with the players but the parents. And I want these players to come in here and decide this is where I want to be. I tell them I want 2 feet in to start off with.
Right.
I don't want somebody, every career has peaks and valleys. For some reason, every kid out of high school going to college thinks their career is going to start off here and then just go straight up.
Right.
That's not how it works.
Right.
And when you hit that valley, I don't want that kid that's got 1 foot out the door.
Woo!
And trying to figure out, well, now I'm going to transfer. Now I'm going to leave.
Right.
We talk about it. You have to be 2 feet invested.
Right.
So you hit that valley. You now are instead of trying to figure out where you're going to leave and go to next, you're trying to figure out how do I got to dig in, grind it out,
persevere,
what I want. Instead of finding excuses, because I tell them all the time, there's always somebody on the backside who's telling them, oh, Coach, you should look at this, you should go here, you should do this, it's better over here. And I keep telling them, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence because it's fertilized with bullshit.
Woo!
All right? So, but unfortunately, when you step in that grass, it smells like it too.
Right.
So, be who you are, be where you are, and then make the best of it.
Right.
And that's why we've had success here. We have kids that it hasn't always been perfect.
Right.
But instead of always looking to leave, they're looking to get better.
Right.
And what's fun is, like last Friday, you go through 4 years with Jasmine Jones and Kylie Shook, kids that, I challenged.
Right.
Jazz was Donna McDonald's All-American. She wasn't on any All-American out of high school list or anything like that. And she's the 12th pick in the draft.
Wow.
And then Kylie's the 13th pick in the draft. I think they both exceeded expectations of what anybody thought they'd be coming out of high school.
So let me ask you, Coach, what are some of the individual skill set and individual work that you guys and your assistant coaches do to help prepare them to be able to get on that level one day?
Well, I think it's kind of the way we play in general. I mean, you have your individual things. And I say it all the time, and you're one of those that works with kids and really tries to work to develop individual skills, but you only have so many hours with them.
Right.
If I come and work out with you 3 times a week, I'm not going to get better if that's the only time I touch the ball.
Right.
So what we talk to them about is, hey, we can give you what you need, but even for the 4 hours a week that we get or whatever it might be in the off season, what are you going to do when you're not with us?
Right.
And that's what we talk about. We find that kid that understands that it's the time in the gym when no one's watching.
There you go.
Is when you're going to become that player and separate yourself.
And Coach, apparently you got the recipe. Your recipe's working. You had a Final Four appearance in 2009, in 2013 and 18, and 2-time ACC season champ. I mean, what you're telling me is very authentic.
Well, I appreciate it. And as I say, we work hard. I've got a great staff. I've got a staff that invest in the kids.
Right.
And I call them kids, and they get mad at me.
Right.
But I treat them like they're my own kids, and that's how it's
Right.
going to be. And as I tell parents, I'll tell players, because that's how I treat you. You're not going to like me all the time, because my own children don't like me all the time, because you're a parent.
That's right.
And sometimes as a parent, you don't do the most popular thing with your kids, but what you do is something that's right. So we talk to them about that. We challenge them, and we've had great success. I mean, we're going to continue to build, continue to recruit, build those relationships, and then not only prepare them for hopefully a WNBA career, but we're preparing them for life afterwards, because that ball's going to stop bouncing after a while.
Right.
And unfortunately, they're not making $8, $9, $10 million.
Right.
And I'm just as proud of the ones that get drafted as I am of the ones that decide I'm going to start my professional career.
But Coach, when these young ladies do graduate from their colleges, playing basketball, it's definitely a lot of opportunity with basketball. You could go into different type of coaching. You could go into consultations. You could go into assistant coaching, player development at a higher level, being that you played at a higher level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's so many options that these young ladies can do.
There sure is, and I'm really impressed, because I always talk to my ones that really tell me that they want to one day hopefully, get into coaching, or some type of being a assistant, director of ops, whatever it might be.
Right.
And I challenge them. I'm like, well, we're playing 32 games a year.
Right.
Sometimes we'll play somebody twice, but that might be only 4 or 5 times.
Right.
So you're looking at the opportunity to meet and face-to-face 28 head coaches. So before a game, after a game, do you actually go up to them and make sure you introduce yourself and say, hey, coach, one day I'm really thinking about getting into coaching. I just want to make sure you remember my name.
Right.
Things like that. To me, when somebody does that to me, it stands out.
Coach, let me ask you, Coach, being the headstrong coach that you are, you going to New York and Madison Square Garden to play UConn. What is your mindset going into a tough atmosphere like that?
Well, it's fun. That's the first part. I mean,
yeah.
That's one of the reasons I love being where I am here at Louisville, is we're bringing in 10,000 people every night for a women's basketball game. You have to love the pressure. You have to love the expectations.
Right.
13 years ago, Swain, when we got here, Louisville had never been to a Sweet 16.
You said something true.
And, that's what they were hoping for. Like, hey, can you get to a Sweet 16? Do that. Well, now after 13 years, 12 NCAA tournaments, obviously this past one was canceled. But now if we're not in the Elite Eight competing for a Final Four, my fans are upset.
Right.
Expectations have changed.
Wow.
But there's nothing wrong with that. That's what just pushes you and gets that engine going. And that's when we go up to Madison Square Gardens to play UConn up there. That's what's fun about it. You get a chance to see where you are. Exactly where do I fit in right now? What do I need to work on? Because it doesn't mean you've arrived. Everybody talked about Oregon was going to go undefeated. Nobody could beat them. And we beat them down in St. Thomas by 10 pretty handily. So, they're up the first quarter. We controlled the next 3 quarters.
Right.
But it did, like I said after that game, it doesn't mean we were going to the Final Four.
Right.
But it did show you the talent that we had.
Right.
And, unfortunately for us, obviously not just for us, but for everybody, the NCAA tournament gets cut short, because I thought it had the potential to be one of the best NCAA tournaments that we've had here in the 25 years I've been in coaching.
Coach, let me ask you, what's one of the times during the season where you felt like you had to own your moment?
Oh, gosh. You know what? I think the biggest challenge, which was a little bit surprising for me, was when I allowed Elizabeth Balogun to go play with her national team.
Wow. Okay.
Because it was during a tough stretch for us. We actually just played the national team on February the 2nd, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And then we had Florida State at home on a Thursday, then at Syracuse.
Whoa.
And we lost both of those games. It was our 2 of the 4 games we lost all year. But a big part of it was we were without Elizabeth.
Right, right.
But at the same time, it was a point where and I made this decision early back in, August, September, that, she had a chance to compete with her national team to earn a spot in the Olympics.
Do something special.
Yeah. And I'm like, hey, at the end of the day, 2 games for us is not going to make or break our season.
Right.
But her having the opportunity to play for her national team in the Olympics, you can't put a price tag on that.
Right.
So I think for me at that point in time, I had to really take a step back and go, what's best for Jeff Walz in the University of Louisville is for her to stay.
Right. Wow.
And not go. But what was best for Elizabeth Balogun was to go play with her national team. And that's what we decided on. We sat down, talked about it, and I said, hey, this isn't what's best for me, but it's what's best for you.
Right.
And you're going. She wanted to stay. At first, she did not want to go.
Right.
But after we talked about it, and I said, hey, it's a dream. This is what kids dream of, a chance to play in the Olympics.
You only get one shot, Coach.
Yeah, so hopefully now that it's been postponed and until next year, hopefully this, coronavirus gets taken care of and they're able to have this next year in Japan, because I'd love to see her have the opportunity to be a part of that.
Yeah, I'd love to see that too, Coach, as well. Coach, let me ask you, Coach, what are some of the what is the mindset that you look for and skill set that you look for when you walk into a gym or AAU tournament and there's 100 courts? What catch your attention? What catches your eye? What do you look for in a player?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I like kids that compete. I want kids that aren't – it doesn't matter how big they are, how fast they are. I want competitors. I want people who are out there and every possession matters.
Right.
And then at the same time, I'm watching those kids when they come off the bench. Off the court to sit on the bench if they're subbed out. Uh-huh. I want to see how they react to their teammates.
Wow.
I've gone and I've watched you score 40 and you're great. Everybody, when they come off, you've dropped 40, you're great. You're in great spirits. I also hope that I get a chance to see when you don't play well.
Wow.
Because if you're coming off that floor and your teammate's putting a hand out to give you a high five and you walk right by him, you're not who I want.
Right.
I watch them after the game, how they talk to their parents or their guardians or the coach. I've watched them where their parents come down and say, hey, great game, and they talk back to them. And I've got no interest in them.
Wow.
Because
mannerism. Yeah.
If you're going to do that to your parent, what are you going to do to me? So, I watch all parts of it.
Yeah.
Now, does a kid have to be perfect? No.
Right.
I've recruited several that other people might not have recruited.
Right.
But when you get to talk to them, they've got a good heart.
Right.
And they just need a little guidance. They just need a little structure.
There you go.
And we've had several that have turned out to be fantastic because you give them a little guidance and structure and they have a good heart. And if they've got a good heart, you can do a lot with them.
I got you, Coach. Let me ask you, being ranked in the top 100 in the country, I'm sure a lot of young ladies may want to hear your opinion on this. Being ranked top 100 in the country, do that carry any weight with you?
No.
Do you look at them as a great player or a worse player if they is or not?
No, I sure don't. Bianca Dunham started the past two years for us, had a great year. She was ranked about 300 and something, I think.
Right.
Out of high school. She told me we were the only Division I scholarship offer she had. And we watched her play in the summer. The kid never stopped working. I'd never seen a kid run so hard up and down the floor, rebound the basketball. Was she extremely skilled? No, but she was a competitor. And we were like, okay, you compete like this, we can compete with you.
She was worthy.
Yeah, and she ended up having a great career for us.
Wow. That's huge, Coach.
Because it's like I always say, Swain, I used to go to 5-star basketball camp in the day, Radford, Virginia, and all that good stuff out there on the tennis courts. And you get out there, and I'll never forget Ed Schilling was actually one of the coaches that year, and I'm out there playing, and we're warming up because they're deciding. They put you in those teams to figure out who are they going to draft.
Right.
And I'm telling you, I was filling it up. I was playing really good, and he looks over, and he goes, hey, number 421, whatever the number was. He goes, you shoot the ball like that all the time? And Swain, I was so stupid, I said, no. I was like, wrong answer right there. Wrong answer. I was just being truthful, but the wrong answer.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's had those games.
Yeah.
Where a coach goes to see a kid play. It's the best game they've ever played in their life.
Right.
And it's like, oh my God, I'm ranking this kid in the top 20.
And that's off one site.
Yes, but it's because they had they had an unbelievable game.
Right.
So do we look at them? Yeah, you'll look at the rankings, but it's not based on, oh, I'm not going to recruit you because you're not ranked high.
I got you.
We look at what we think is a good fit for us.
I got you. Wow.
And there are a lot of people that you can look at where they're ranked, and then what do they pan out to be?
Right. There you go.
So, yeah, a number, sure, it's great, and I always say, like, a lot of these kids, it's a dream of theirs to play in the McDonald's All-American game, whatever, Jordan Classic, whatever it might be, and that's awesome. But if you don't get there, that's not going to define who you are.
That's right. That's right.
I joke with them all the time, my own players. I said, okay, tell me who was on the McDonald's, when they're sophomores in college. I'll be like, okay, name me all the players in the McDonald's All-American game the year you played in it. They can't do it.
Can't do it.
Nope. Now, is it an honor? Of course it's an honor, but that can't be the only thing that defines you as a player.
Right, right. I got you, Coach. I like your style. I like your swag, Coach. I like the confidence and the aura that you speak with, man. I like that.
I appreciate that.
Coach, let me ask you this, Coach. What does the words "own your moment" mean to you?
What does the what now?
What does the words "own your moment"
own your moment
mean to you?
I think what it means to me is to be true to yourself.
Ooh.
Be true to yourself. You know what? I grew up, I'm a stutterer.
Yeah.
And if you would have told me back in high school that I'd be doing what I'm doing now, having to get up in front of people, I'd told you were crazy.
Yeah.
When I got the job here, my press conference, you can go on YouTube and look it up, Jeff Walz press conference at Louisville.
Uh-huh.
It's awful. I was so bad. Oh, I stuttered every single word, sweated up a storm.
Yeah.
And it was after that I finally just realized, you know what?
You got to be you, man.
It's who I am. And if you don't like the fact I stutter, don't ask me a question.
Coach, that's the same mentality, attitude I have. When I go in my gym and I'm training and working with these young guys and young women, Coach, I'm me.
Yep.
I'm just me. I'm gonna talk how I talk. I'm gonna work how I work, and you're gonna get better. Bottom line.
Yeah. No, Swain, you're exactly right. That's how it is. And then, the other thing I always tell people is a lot of people just see me during a basketball game.
Right.
They have no idea who I truly am.
Right.
What I like to do away from the game.
Right.
And that's why I tell my players, you can have one personality on the floor.
Right.
Because I want you to just be a competitor, a fierce competitor out there just trying to win everything we do. And then off the floor, you can be a sweet, young, beautiful female, ladylike, whatever you want to be.
That's right.
And you can have two personalities.
Right. There you go.
Because I don't want you to want to rip somebody's head off when we're sitting there walking in the mall.
Yeah.
It's okay. But when you step on that floor, let's get after it. And that's how I am. I'm one way on the floor. I've got people like, oh, there's no way I could play for you. You yell at your kids. That's because you have no idea what the relationship is I have with my players.
There you go.
I love every single one of them like they're my own. They come up in my office. They talk to me about their personal lives. And some of them will leave going, I can't believe I just told you that.
Coach, I appreciate you taking the time to come on your Moment Network and talk with me, man. I really appreciate it, Joe.
No, hey, I enjoy it. Anytime. These are great opportunities right now, especially with what we've got going on in the world. I just,
right.
The craziness we've got on, I tell people the same thing. Don't wish for tomorrow. Don't sit there and go, God, I can't wait for this to end. Make the most of every day.
Woo, own your moment.
That's it. And for myself right now, I've got my 6 and 4-year-old that they keep asking me when the next recruiting trip is I'm going on.
They ready to go.
They're so used to me being gone.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I'm not going anywhere this weekend. They're like, oh,
Right.
this is great. So
they get to enjoy Dad.
Yeah, and it means a lot to me because now I'm being able to be such a bigger part of their lives than what I usually am.
Right. And I'm sure you found out some things about your kid that you didn't even know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and then it also really makes me appreciate even more how wonderful my wife is.
Right.
For what she does with our family while I'm gone.
That's a beautiful thing, Coach.
It's not easy. It's not easy. And then I've got it even, my family's a family of educators, teachers, and principals and so forth. And that's what my undergrad is. I planned on teaching. But I knew I couldn't be an elementary school teacher. I subbed in that for a few weeks when I was back in college. And I was like, I can't do this. But I've got a whole new appreciation for what they do because it's a special group. I've got a daughter, Swain, who's a preschooler, that they have Zoom meetings at 11 o'clock.
Yep.
Every day. They get on Zoom as a 4-year-old.
Coach, my son is a 4-year-old. They have Zoom at 8:50 every morning.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's fantastic. And they get on there. They're so excited to see their friends. Yeah, it's awesome.
Wow. That's good, Coach, man. That's good.
I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you, too, man. I'm happy for you, Coach. Keep it up. On your moment, Coach.
Let's stay in touch. All right. Thanks, Swain.
Let's do it. All right. Take care, Coach.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right.